Hey, what's up guys, and welcome to Tan Tennis channel. And today I got the new Extreme 2024 Oxadic 2.0 version that just been released a couple weeks ago. And here I have the Extreme MP and I got the Extreme Pro over here. Yeah, the Pro is a former Tour version in the last generation, so you may be familiar with the Extreme Tour, but you never heard of Extreme Tour. So just know that they changed it to the Pro in this generation, but the spec remains the same. The Extreme MP is a twin racket with a thick beam, as you can see over here. Yeah, it's a 100 square inches head size, 300 gram unstrung, 16 by 19. And the Extreme Pro is a thinner beam frame, 98 square inches head size, 305 gram unstrung, 16 by 19. It's more head light. This one is 31.5 centimeters. So yeah, pretty head light than most of the 305 gram racket. I strung the Extreme MP with Restring 017 and I strung the Pro with Solingo Tour by Soft 17, both at 48 pounds on the main and 46 pounds on the cross. You may ask why I didn't use the same string on both of the rackets. That's because when I was playing with the Extreme MP and the Pro in the last generation, I used these strings the most, so I know how it is, and we'll be able to compare it like apple to apple to the last generation. Just a little bit of a disclaimer. You may notice that the footage on today's video is on muted because when I was playing and recording, there was a storm and it was raining hard, so the noise is too much. You cannot hear anything, so I put it on mute. It was like this. So sorry for that. And before we go to the court, don't forget to like this video and subscribe to my channel for more tennis content. The first questions you guys may have is that what changes from the previous version of the Extreme, right? And to put it simple, I think they try to make it softer and stable with more of the Oxadic technology like they did on the racket lines up, like the speed, the prestige, and boom. But in my opinion, I don't think it works well with the Extreme and the boom. Overall, yes, it's softer, but it feels a bit flimsy and artificial. The last Extreme already feels a little bit like a toy, but this one is even worse. It lacks the firm and direct feel of the power and spin frame, and I think it's a bit less powerful than the previous generation, especially for the Pro version that tries to, become more of a control frame, which doesn't go well with this kind of racket. On the design, I wouldn't say much about it because it's subjective, but let me put it this way. I prefer the previous generation much more than this, and I have seen some of my clients asking for the previous generation more often than ever. So I would say it's quite a failure in design that not many people want to use this new version instead of the previous generation. Okay, first let's start with the Head Extreme MP 2024. And for this version, I like it. I think it's pretty close to the previous generation, but it's just a bit softer and muted. But the playability remains pretty much the same. This is a true spin frame. It grabs the ball really well and put a lot of RPM on the ball. Launch angle is medium to high. You don't have to worry about the net because you can hit the ball, like 2 meters above the net and still make it into the court. I noticed the most of the ball goes with a projectile trajectory and it dips inside the baseline anyway. I got a lot of depth on most of the balls and it's pretty consistent. The racket is stable enough to play at any level from beginner to advanced. I seriously don't think it will have any issues with the stability. Control is totally fine. The racket is powerful, but the spin potential here is huge. So if you normally play with top spin shots, you control your shots with the topspin, and I don't think you're gonna have any problem with this racket because the depth you're gonna get is pretty good. The service is on point. First service is above average, although it doesn't give me a rocket serve, but the ball placement is quite accurate. So I can say that the service game is pretty efficient. On the second serve, the racket gives extra topspin and slice anyway, so yeah, I don't have any problem with that. It has a good percentage, and the spin on the ball, on the slice, I think it's pretty good. And another thing I like about this racket is the backhand slice. It's so reliable and you can trust it on defensive game 100%. The slice doesn't float out, but rather keep it low with a lot of backspin on the ball. I can slide with this racket all day and it's super solid. I didn't make a single mistake. The thing I don't like about this racket, I think it's only one thing. I think it's too much of a one-dimensional racket. Like every shot coming off of my racket is high loopy topspin shots. Even on my backhand that normally I hit flat, now it got some topspin on it. So I think it will be better if I can get some more variations and different paces on the ground strokes to keep my opponents guessing. But sometimes I want to go with a more flat and faster ball. Sometimes I want to go with high loopy topspin ball, something like that. But the Extreme MP kind of gives me pretty much consistent ground strokes, but it doesn't have that much of a color to my shot making. So yeah, I think that's the only downside as of now that I find. Overall, I think the Extreme MP is a solid racket. It's very versatile, and I think it can suit a lot of players from beginner level to advanced level, no problem. And on the comfort, so far I don't have any issues with this comfort at all, and I don't think it will happen on this racket. Although it's not soft, but it's not stiff. So yeah, totally fine. Now onto the Extreme Pro. I think this racket has more changes over the previous generation compared to the Extreme MP. I can sense that Head tries to make this one more control than the previous generation that is quite powerful. So the first thing that I noticed is that it has lower power and spin. And second, I noticed that the racket can flex more, which is normally a good thing, I would say. But on this racket, I don't think it's appropriate because it kind of reduces the stability and reliability of the racket. If this is a blade or something else that is a complete control stick, then it's fine. But the Extreme is not for that. In my opinion, it's made for the group of players who want to have a little bit more control for the power and spin frame, but doesn't generally want the racket to be too much control and under power. The last Extreme Tour did very well meeting that objective, but this one, I don't think it is. And this is because the Extreme Pro is meant to be a headlight racket with relatively low swing weight. So the plow from the swing weight itself is not high enough. The racket needs to help with that. But when it flexes more, like this one, I think it reduces the consistency and the stability of the racket because the player needs to put more effort into the shot as well. And when the frame is more flexible and low swing weight, the stability is not there. And this is what I feel from the get-go. And because the feel of the racket is more muted, the contact point on the string bed is not clear, and I tend to get some flyers on my forehand when I intend to hit a topspin shot, but it comes out very flat and it goes out. And this is what I don't like. On the power and the spin, I think it is okay. I don't feel like the spin potential is as high as the previous generation. The launch angle is medium, and I think you can see that the height of the ball is quite lower than the Extreme MP, and it's more through the court. The good thing is that the Extreme Pro remains very maneuverable and fast. It can get faster racket head speed, but that's it. I don't think it's stable enough to hit with advanced level players. So, customization is needed for sure, but I don't know if that's going to reduce the maneuverability of the racket or not. On the last version of the Extreme Tour, I don't feel like I need to customize it at all. And another thing I don't like is the backhand slice. Unlike the Extreme MP, this one is so unreliable on the slice. And this is weird because the last version is super good on backhand slice, so I don't know what's going on. To sum up, I prefer the Extreme Tour over the Extreme Pro much more. No hesitation, so it's not worth the upgrade in my opinion. But for the Extreme MP, I think you can go with either one. The new one or the last generation is not that much of a big change. Thank you for watching and see you in the next video.